Challenge. Welcome to KET's Scholastic Challenge quarterfinal competition. As you can see, we've put on a whole new face in honor of the quarterfinals because this year we began competition in the fall with teams from 117 Kentucky high schools. And now, after 2 rounds of play, the field has narrowed to 27 schools. We're very pleased that you've joined us. Right away, we're going to get into our competition with our category rounds. Team, if you're ready, we're all set to begin. In this round, we score 10 points for a correct answer. We take off 10 points for each wrong answer. And on this round, you will be in direct competition, so have the buttons ready. Please wait to be recognized by school name before you answer. Now, you might think of today's category round as a con game because all of the answers include the letters C-O-N in that order. Please identify the following. Watch your screen. Here we go. A major river. Okay, Adair County.
Congo.
Correct. Order of trees. St. Xavier.
Conifers.
That is correct. New York Fort, Adair County.
Ticonderoga.
Correct. What U.S. Senate gives with Lexington Catholic?
Congress.
Oh, I'm sorry, consent, advice and consent. Okay, try this one. The Italian who invented, all right, Lexington Catholic.
Marconi.
Correct. Peace plan by a group of Latin American nations. What do they call that? Okay, the word you're looking for there is contadora. Try this one. Bird of prey. St. Xavier?
Condor.
Correct. Bessemer's gift to the steel industry. Okay, St. Xavier?
I don't know.
He didn't. You don't know. Okay. The answer there was the converter, the Bessemer converter. Okay, try this one. Russian religious image. Adair County?
Icon.
That is right. Beethoven's Emperor for piano and, okay, Adair County?
Concerto.
Correct. The reduction of steam to droplets, St. Xavier?
Condensation.
Yes. Spouse of a king or St. Xavier? What is the
Consort.
term? Yes, that's correct. Need a little quicker answer on that. Okay, that wraps up our beginning round. Let's take just a moment now and do what we always like to do most here on the program. Meet the people behind the scenes. In this case, the coaches who help these teams to get to Scholastic Challenge. First of all, from team number 1, we greet from Adair County, the coach.
Hello, I'm Jeff Scott from Adair County. I'm the academic team coach. Adair County is in the south central part of the state. Good luck, guys.
All right, you bet. And from Adair County, we'll meet first of all Chris. Hi.
I'm Chris Rowe, a 16-year-old junior at Adair County High School.
Okay, and our captain is Shane.
I'm Shane Arnold, a 17-year-old senior at Adair County.
And finally, Russell.
I'm Russell Walker. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Adair County.
Okay, good to have each of you back with us for our quarterfinals. Good luck in today's game. We're going to start now our Chiron round. Now, as you remember, in this round, there are no penalties for an incorrect answer, and it's a good way to help you kind of build up a cushion of points. Each correct answer is worth 20 points. It's good to have you with us, and hope that you get a lot of 20-pointers on this one. Of course, if you get an answer wrong, well, we don't take anything off on that one. Also, you're not in direct competition in this round, so you won't be needing your buttons. Watch the monitor, team, and we'll begin. These same letters can be rearranged and fitted into what word that identifies a person who opposes war?
Pacifist.
Yes, that's right. Next, to change this word for a poet into a word meaning the hirsute feature of a poet like Walt Whitman, what one letter would you insert into this hirsute? I'm sorry? No, I'm sorry. The letter is E. We wanted to make beard out of that, hirsute meaning hairy. Okay, try this one. The gent would be called a senor in what South American country whose name can... That's right. Okay, here's a two-parter for you. Although named for powerful women, these boats have little else in common. Please name the fierce pirate who sailed the Queen Anne's Revenge and the French oceanographer associated with the Calypso.
Edward Teach.
Yes.
And Jacques Cousteau.
You are right. Good. Double the points on that one. Of these 3 types of documents, which can govern nations? Which is the one that governs the United Nations?
Charter.
Correct. And finally, of course, Calvin Coolidge was not affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan. Nonetheless, this description of him was penned in 1924 by what muckraking novelist who had earlier written The Jungle?
Upton Sinclair.
That is the one. Good going, Adair. Nice round. Okay, next of all, we're going to move right along to team number 2 and meet the coach from Lexington Catholic.
I'm Philip Jones from Lexington Catholic High School in Lexington, Kentucky. Good luck, Knights.
All right, and indeed we share that sentiment. From Lexington Catholic, we'll first say hello to contestant Francis.
Hello, Bill. I'm Francis Crowbath, and I'm a 17-year-old senior at Lexington Catholic.
And our captain today is Don.
Hi, Bill. I'm Don Albert, a 17-year-old senior from Catholic.
And finally, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Thomas, 17-year-old senior.
All right, and again, welcome to each of you. Nice to have you back, and good luck in today's contest. You know how it's done. Just watch the monitor, and let's roll. First, a little solving problem here by rearranging the letters in this word. You can name what sort of pattern or design that's produced by applying ink through a thin, cut-out surface.
Stencil?
You bet. Okay. A toll can be a tax for using a road or a bridge. But to turn this word into a figure of Scandinavian folklore who was under the bridge, what one letter would you insert?
R.
That is right, to make it troll. Next, if you were to go to the city where this go leads you, you'd be in what South American metropolis, the capital of Colombia?
Bogota.
Correct. Two-parter now. These were two famous addresses in 19th century London. The first was the mansion of what general who was called the Iron Duke, and the second was the address of what arbiter of men's fashion who was called Beau. Okay, first of all, you're looking for the Duke of Wellington for the general, and second, Beau Brummel, George Bryan Brummel. Try this one. Of these three fields of science, which is best designed as the study of equilibrium of material bodies? Equilibrium of material bodies. Which would that be?
Statics.
You're right, good. By identifying the source of this quotation, you will be paying your respects to what 20th century French writer, author of The Plague and The Stranger?
Camus.
You're right, Stephanie. Good. Okay, just in time on that one. And that wraps up the Chiron round for Lexington Catholic. Good going. Time to move along to our final team here today, St. Xavier, team number 3. And first of all, we'll greet their coach.
Hi, I'm Martha Newcomb from Louisville St. Xavier. We're really proud of you, Don, Kevin, and John.
Okay, thank you, and we are too, because when you get into the quarterfinals, you are among the cream of the crop. First of all, let's meet Donald.
Hi, I'm Don Meyer, a 17-year-old senior at St. X.
All right, and next to you is Captain Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin O'Leary. I'm a 17-year-old senior at St. Xavier High School.
And finally, John.
My name is John Hanley. I'm an 18-year-old senior at St. X.
Very good. Nice to have each of you back with us, and again, best of luck to you here in our quarterfinals and on down the road. You're anxious to get started on your Chiron round. You may have seen a little hint of that first word, but what about it? I'll tell you. Here we go. It suggests an old automobile, the Stutz, but the letters can be rearranged to name what prize-winning musical that was set in a Berlin nightclub in the 1930s. The movie star.
Cabaret.
Yes, exactly right. Good. This word may remind you of Dad or a soft drink, but what letter inserted into it will remind you of the word that goes with circumstance in a musical work popular at graduation?
Pomp. M.
M is the letter, and it makes the word pomp. Okay. Now, by filling in the blank spaces here, you'll have not gas, but what sea within the North Atlantic Ocean? A sea within the North Atlantic.
No guess.
Okay, Sargasso is the title there, the name. Okay, here's your two-parter. Because of the words cow and bull here, these might be called the bovine battles of what two different wars fought on American soil? Battles?
The Civil War.
Yes. For
War of 1812.
Run, and the American Revolution is what we're looking for in that one. Okay. Of the three congressional acts listed here, which one was specifically concerned with the U.S. Civil Service?
The Pendleton.
Correct. And finally, this provocative statement was made by what 20th century French philosopher, an existentialist who attacked bourgeois values in such works as No Exit? No penalty for a wrong guess.
Sargel.
I'm sorry, Jean-Paul Sartre. Ooh, you were so close. Okay, that wraps up the Chiron round. Let's get right to our scoreboard and see how our teams have been doing so far in today's game. Adair County has 160 points. Next, Lexington Catholic with 110 points. And also tied at 110 is St. Xavier Louisville. Nice going. Now, Just before we begin our Kentucky round, I want to remind everybody of what's at stake here. The winners of our game at the end of the season are going to receive $500. The runners-up each will receive $250. The prize money is being contributed by the Friends of KET to the library funds of the winning schools. So with that goal in mind, let's get right on with the next round of our game. This is our Kentucky round, a round to let the youngsters show us how much they know about Kentucky history, geography, and the lives of great Kentuckians. We give 10 points for a correct answer, and we take off 10 for an incorrect answer. On this round, you will be in direct competition, so have those buttons ready and wait to be recognized by school name before you give your answer. The Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court is appointed. But how is the Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court, St. Xavier?
Elected.
Hey, no, I need a little more specific answer. I'll give you a chance on it.
Elected by the legislature.
No, I'm sorry. It's by the vote of the 7 members of the court. Okay. Why did Senator A.B. Chandler resign his seat in the U.S. Senate on November 1, 1945? Adair County. Need an answer? Say it.
Became commissioner of baseball.
Okay, Russell, that's right. What Kentucky college, or Central Kentucky College to be correct, is Kentucky's only remaining college exclusively for women? Adair County.
Midway.
That is right. What part of Kentucky was added after it became a state? Adair County.
The Jackson Purchase?
Yes. What Lexington-born former Vice President of the United States became Secretary of War for the Confederacy? Lexington-born former U.S. Vice President, Secretary of War for the Confederacy. Okay, you're looking for John C. Breckinridge there. What ordained Baptist minister from Louisville became known nationally as the Prime Minister of Humor? Adair County?
Grady Nutt.
That's the one. What is the largest lake in Kentucky entirely located within Adair County?
Lake Cumberland.
That is right, within Kentucky's borders. In the fall of 1960, the first class was admitted to what new professional college in Kentucky? Fall of 1960. First new professional college? Okay, the University of Kentucky Medical College. What event in 1937 was the greatest natural disaster in St. Xavier?
Flood.
That is right, the Ohio Valley flood of 1937. In what famous Kentucky building is the Kentucky Historical Society located? Adair County.
The old Capitol building?
That is right. Good for you. And that wraps up our Kentucky round. Stay with us. We'll be right back after a short break with more of KET's Scholastic Challenge.
It's like living on an alien planet. I speak the language, but nobody listens. I make the signs, but nobody sees.
He's old, irascible.
I'm top dog. I've ruled the roost here for as long as I remember.
Once nearly Prime Minister of England, now just a footnote in history. But as Sir Richard Kitchen looks back at his life and the world around him, senile or not, he sees through the hypocrisy.
People will stoop to anything for power or money. Principles are not involved. Life is amoral. There is no prejudice. Witness my life, spoiled by one speech and one interview of 15 seconds. I've had no luck in my life whatsoever. I've been aware of its indifference from the very beginning.
Sir Ralph Richardson stars in the role written specially for him by David Story, Early Days, on Great Performances.
Monday night at 8, 7 Central.
And welcome back. Now, before we get started with our packet round, let's take a look at those scores. First of all, Adair County has 220 points. Lexington Catholic with 110 points. And St. Xavier has 110 points. Time to get some more points on the board, this time with the packet round. Now, each team's going to have 90 seconds to answer 10 questions. We'll give 20 points for a correct answer, 20 points off for an incorrect answer, and a bonus of 25 points for correctly answering all 10 questions. And remember, teams, you do have the privilege of passing on this round with no penalty. Now, I'm not going to stop to give the answers so that we can give as many questions as possible in that limited time. So, team number 1, Adair County, you are up first. If you're all set, listen carefully. Here's your first question. According to wedding customs, even a happy bride should wear an item of what color sometimes linked with sad feelings?
Black. Blue.
I heard 2 answers.
Blue.
Okay. Lord Jeffrey Amherst experimented with biological warfare. Then he sent an Indian tribe some blankets that had been infected with what disease? Later controlled
Smallpox.
Yes. A bird flying over Salt Lake City could see a monument to what seabird that saved settlers'
Seagull.
crops? Yes. On the monitor, what term in the expansion of x squared plus 1 to the 10th would contain x to the 0 power?
Pass.
Okay. Chekhov created a fictional Uncle Vanya, but it was the Russian Revolution that helped create the World War II leader known as Uncle Joe. Who was he?
Stalin.
Yes, choice. Although he produced artificial diamonds, Sir William Crookes was better known for discovering what tube, a variant of that used in X-ray machines, a cathode ray tube, a ruby laser, or a gas discharge tube.
Cathode?
Yes. In 1985, upheavals in the Middle East caused a 10% decrease in the numbers of pilgrims to what holiest city in Saudi Arabia? Yes. That's right. A tabletop is 30 inches by 48 inches. How many square feet of glass will it take to cover it?
Pass.
The father of Ulysses in the Odyssey and the son of Polonius in Hamlet both share what same name?
Pass.
The United States had its Battle of Wounded Knee, but in 1739, England and Spain fought a war named for what captain's ear? I think we're all going to learn this on this one.
Pass.
Okay. It was called Jenkins, the War of Jenkins' Ear. Oh, I'll have to mark that one down and put that in the book. Okay. Nice going, Adair County. Now, it's been brought to my attention that there was a mistake in the visual on the mathematical question, so in order to be very fair to Adair County, we're going to redisplay the correct math problem. I'll ask the question, and they will have 10 seconds in which to answer it. All right, gentlemen, if you're ready, watch the screen. On your monitor, what term in the expansion of x squared plus 1 to the 10th would it contain x to the 0 power? What term in numbers? All right, I'm sorry, I have to call time on that. The answer would have been the 11th term or the last term. Okay, well, I'm glad that at least we got to straighten that part out of it. Adair County, you take a rest, and we'll swing on up to Lexington Catholic. And once again, this is the 92nd round. Listen carefully, here we go. Okay. One of the major clashes of the Spanish-American War occurred when Admiral Dewey's gunboats destroyed a Spanish fleet in the bay of what Philippine city?
Manila.
Correct. Poet Langston Hughes was related to one of the 5 black men who joined John Brown in his 1859 raid on what West Virginia town?
Harper's Ferry?
Yes. James Madison might have said hello, Dolly, when he was introduced to his future wife by what mutual friend a future vice president tried for treason in 1806?
Aaron Burr.
Correct. On the screen. One solution of this equation is x equals 2. What is the other solution?
3/2, negative 3/2.
I'm sorry. Although it actually consisted of 5 separate measures, legislation involving California's admission to the Union is commonly known simply as the Compromise of what year?
1850.
Correct. Choice. Plant breeders may grow some plants, such as tomatoes, without soil, with the roots bathed in nutrient solutions. The science of growing plants in this manner is speleology, topology, or hydroponics?
Hydroponics.
Correct. Despite his clever name, English explorer Luke Fox failed in his attempt to find what long-sought passage said to connect the Atlantic and the Pacific through Hudson Bay?
Northwest?
Correct. If 5 non-collinear points determine 10 straight lines, how many straight lines are determined by 4 non-collinear points?
8.
No, I'm sorry. While waiting for her white knight to arrive, a princess might read about the Red Cross Knight, a hero of what epic allegory by poet Edmund Spenser?
Pass.
Okay, originating in Chicago. Okay, you're looking for the Fairy Queen on that last one. Okay, Lexington Catholic, good going on that round. Let's move right on up one more level to St. Xavier. You gentlemen have been waiting patiently. Clocks are all set. Here come your questions. Both the first permanent movie theater and the first commercial radio station were built in what Pennsylvania city, whose downtown area has what is called the Golden Triangle? Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
Correct. David Livingstone originally resided in Scotland, but he was living in Tanganyika when he was found by what explorer and journalist? Livingstone was found.
Stanley.
Correct. We associate boomerangs with Australia, but a hieroglyphic resembling our letter C and thought to mean boomerang was developed by what ancient people on the Nile River? Who were they?
Egyptians.
Yes, right. On your screen. What is the value of the given expression?
2 minus x squared.
I'm sorry. Although other women work wonders with powder and paint, what London lady arranged her many faces with wax and exhibited the results in a popular museum?
Madame Trousseau.
Correct. In the days before the Fair Campaign Practices Act, Thomas Jefferson was described as a brandy-soaked anarchist by what opposition political party headed by Hamilton? The party name?
Federalist.
Yes. Choice. Most of the water absorption in the digestive tract takes place in the stomach, the small intestine, or the large intestine. Water absorption.
Small intestine.
I'm sorry. What is the sum of all the divisors of 15, including 1 and 15?
24.
Exactly. Good. Deerslayer and Pathfinder were two nicknames his Indian friends gave to what fictional hunter created by James Fenimore Cooper?
Muck Muck.
I'm sorry? You started to say something together?
Muck Muck.
No, I'm sorry. That's what I thought you said. We were looking for Natty Bumpo. Got that U sound in there. Okay, St. Xavier, thank you. A good round that was, a packet round. Before we begin our final competition, I know you want to see how the scores have gone so far, so here we go. First of all, Adair County is now at 340 points. Lexington Catholic at 190 points. And only one answer behind is St. Xavier with 170 points. All right. Now, teams, if you're all set, we're going to begin the final round of our game, the grab bag round. We call it because, well, we have questions from all kinds of topics. We give you 20 points for a correct answer. We take off 20 points for a wrong answer. Again, on this round, you're going to be in direct competition, so get those buttons ready. If you're all set, here we go. New Jersey's USFL football team has... All right, Xavier, right. Who are you was the question asked by what Lewis Carroll character as he smoked his hookah and lolled on a mushroom? St. Xavier.
The caterpillar.
Correct. George Bernard Shaw refused the Order of Merit, saying, I've already conferred it on myself. But in 1925, he did accept what prestigious Swedish literary award? St. Xavier.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Correct. John Wilkes Booth is the villain who shot Lincoln. But what other man of his era is now celebrated because he shot pictures of Lincoln with a camera? Lexington Catholic.
Matthew Brady.
That is right. Cola drinks may be popular today, but the Greek gods preferred what sweet liquid, St. Xavier?
Nectar.
That's right. They had that with their ambrosia. Good. Okay, choice. To balance the weight of an entire column of atmosphere, it would take only a 30-inch column of what element? Oxygen. Okay, St. Xavier?
Mercury.
That is right. Explorer John Cabot visited both Newfoundland and what adjoining Canadian territory whose name is shared by a large retriever? Okay, Adair County?
Labrador.
That's right. Flying clouds usually sail in the sky, but the flying cloud of 19th century New England was what particular kind of seaborne? Adair County?
Clipper.
That is right. What is the area of a parallelogram whose base is 10 and whose altitude is 5? St. Xavier?
50.
You're right. Unrequited love's a bore, according to a song lyric. But what queen of Carthage went and killed herself out of unrequited love for Aeneas? Okay, you're looking for Dido and that one. The first major sea battle fought entirely with airplanes from aircraft carriers. Adair County?
Battle of Coral Sea.
I'm sorry. You're in the right department there. The Battle of Midway is what it was, right? The center of the Pacific Ocean. Okay, here's a choice question for you now. As steam at 100 degrees centigrade is passed into boiling water, the temperature of the water increases, decreases, or remains the same? Lexington Catholic.
Remains the same.
You're right. Okay, nice going, Don. The bald eagle may face extinction today, but the blue eagle of the New Deal actually did die in 1935 when the Supreme Court declared what act St. Xavier?
NRA.
That is right. Should you write a report entitled Giants in the Good Earth, you'd be combining novel titles by Ole Rolvag and what woman? Okay, Adair County?
Pearl S. Buck.
Pearl Buck it is, the Good Earth. Okay. To help U.S. farmers as well as school lunch programs, the federal purchase of 12,000 tons of potatoes was recently announced by what U.S. Secretary of Agriculture? Who is he? Adair County. Block is correct. If two supplementary angles are in the ratio of 1 to 2, what is the number of degrees in either of the two angles? Adair County.
120.
That is right, or 60 we'd have taken. Choice. The most important factor in determining the chemical behavior of an atom is its nuclear structure, electron structure, or atomic weight. Lexington Catholic.
Electro-instruction.
You're right. An American would be returning from what Asian country if his customs declaration included a samisen, an obi, and a book of haiku? Lexington Catholic.
Japan.
You're right. Okay. Rin Tin Tin was a dog who liked bones, but Kipling's Rikki Tikki Tavi was what kind? Adair County.
Mongoose.
That is right. 13 was claimed by Woodrow Wilson as his lucky number, although he might have called unlucky what number of post-war points that caused St. Xavier?
14.
Those are the ones. If you put the letter A after the last name of our 11th president, you'd produce the name of what lively?
Polka.
St. Xavier? Yes. You got the polka before the school. All right. Jerusalem's first temple was built by Solomon. Her second temple by what wicked New Testament king whose stepdaughter... Oh, we almost got that in. Okay, the game is over. Stand by. We'll announce our winners in just a moment.
Jimmy Wing knew a lot about the people in his town. He kept it to himself until A Flash of Green, starring Ed Harris.
Cat, I've just learned that Grassy Bay's up for grabs again.
You're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Blair Brown.
I saw the paper. Is it true?
No one ever said that justice had to make any sense, Cat.
Richard Jordan.
We're gonna build an island out there. Fill it with streets and homes.
Someone on your side is playing dirty, and if you don't know about it, you should.
George Coe.
Getting interesting, Mr. Wayne.
Based on the novel by John D. MacDonald, written and directed by Victor Nunez.
I've got something to do.
A Flash of Green on American Playhouse.
Tuesday night at 8, 7 Central.
And another exciting game this one's been. Our second runner-up today is Lexington Catholic with 270 points. Our runner-up is St. Xavier with 350 points. And our winner today is Adair County High School with 440 points. Nice going, all three teams, and we thank them and their coaches who've worked so hard to prepare their teams. And thanks to you, our home audience, for watching. We hope you find these programs informative and entertaining. Now, please stay right where you are. We'll be back with 3 more teams in our quarterfinal competition on KET's Scholastic Challenge. See you in a moment.
This week, theater
of a hawk. The ancient Egyptians also had sacred. What sort of 4-footed feline animals that are now common? Yes. Choice, carbon monoxide actually suffocates its victims because it, instead of oxygen, combines with what molecule found in red blood cells? Plasma, hemoglobin? Yes. In a Robert Browning poem, good news was brought to Aix from what Flemish city that also witnessed the signing of the treaty that ended the War of 1812? Yes. In order to represent a family budget on a circle graph, how many degrees of the circle would be used to represent an item which is 30% of the total budget? How many degrees in a circle? 30%.
108.
Correct. Eleanor Roosevelt liked to recall that her father had given her what nickname, suggesting the little girl in the Old Curiosity Shop by Dickens?
Pass.
Okay. Although forced to ditch his work on the Panama Canal, what French engineer had earlier completed successfully the ditch at Suez in 1869?
Pass.
Okay, that was the last question. Ferdinand de Lesseps was that, and the other one was Little Nell for Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, nice going on that round, Lincoln County. Moving along now to Henry Clay, and they've been waiting patiently for their packet questions. If you're all set, gentlemen, here we go. A historian would write about Batu Khan's golden horde and Hannibal's gray herd of what pachyderms used to help the Carthaginians? Yes. Former cabinet member Margaret Heckler might take to the wearing of the green since she's now serving as ambassador.
Ireland.
Yes. You'll find a grave digging scene in Shakespeare's Hamlet, but in which of his other plays does Mark Antony deliver a funeral oration?
Caesar.
Yes,
Julius Caesar.
On the screen, what expression is equivalent to the equivalent to the log of what number?
12.
That is correct. There may be no praying in Connecticut's public schools, but that state does have, as its official state insect, what praying creature?
Mantis.
Yes. The equivalent to 2 million horsepower is generated every minute